The concluding remarks of this meeting were made by Elder John Nicholson. He held that the present age was the most remarkable in the history of the world in a general sense. It was also a momentous epoch in the progress of this community, concerning whom many important predictions had been made. Among them was one enunciated by Joseph Smith, to the effect that the principles inculcated in the Constitution of our common country would be trodden underfoot, and the nation disrupted by disintegrating causes. It was the high destiny of this people, when the hour of peril should arrive, to take the leading part in the reorganization of the country upon constitutional principles. Preparation was necessary to enable a people to perform so great a work. Those who took part in it would have to be fully informed in regard to the correct principles of government, maintaining that principle of freedom which, as a revelation says, belongs to all mankind. Those who are ignorant in this line are unfit to engage in such an exalted labor. It devolved upon the youth especially to acquire information upon subjects involving the principles upon which human rights are based. The speaker here defined the nature and object of a political constitution, and asserted that the late legislation, being of a class character, was flagrantly violative of the one which prevails in this republic. So was every law that trenched upon inviolable or natural rights, the right of life, liberty, and property. Congress, nor no other legislative body, had the legitimate power to enact a law that would take from any one class of citizens either of these rights by any other process than that by which such deprival ensued to every other class. Neither had any judicial body the right to administer the laws differently upon one class than upon another, for such proceedings disturbed that equality which should exist in a free and popular government, endangering the very existence of the nation. It had been stated that the latest law aimed at the people of Utah had been, before its dual passage, shorn of its most vicious features, and thus rendered less harmful. Notwithstanding this, it was an infamous piece of legislation, only fit to be denounced in the most unqualified terms, and the speaker so characterized it. The hand of God was visible in the deprivation of the saints of their rights. It caused them to clamor for them, and they should continue to do so without ceasing, for they thus became, by the act of their enemies, the most vigorous advocates of constitutional principles in the country. They were thus being qualified for the great work of the future in saving a distracted country from ruin. This advocacy should not only be directed to the enjoyment of their own rights, but likewise those of the whole race.